It literally felt like, no, this is my house. Get ready with me while I answer some of your questions about me buying a house recently. Yes, I am a full-time content creator, and honestly, it wasn't anything more complicated for me to get a loan or get pre-approved. They ask you for like bank statements or an overview of your finances. I ended up buying in New Jersey. The first step that you have to do is get pre-approved. You can get a pre-approval from a bank, a lender. Once you have your pre-approval, that's when you find a realtor. I also just want to say this can be very different for everyone. These are just the steps that I took. Once I had my pre-approval, I found a realtor through my friend. We were good to go and start looking at homes. When do you start saving for a home? Me personally, I have always saved money regardless of if I wanted to buy a house or not. Whenever I get a check or I get paid, a very big chunk of that goes into my savings account automatically. So I've always saved money regardless of if I wanted to buy a home or not. I started looking somewhere in August and September, and then I saw this home on the market. Go take a look at it. I think this was somewhere in either September or October. We put an offer in November. Then it took me about 6 months to close on this home, which is insane. Before I found the home that I ended up buying, I actually looked at about, I would say 15 homes. I did like 12 homes in one day. That kind of gave me an idea of what I did not like in a home. This was actually before I found my realtor. All those homes that I went to look at looked the exact same. They all had the same layout. After about 10 homes with the same layout, I knew exactly what I didn't want in a home. The home that I ended up buying is a new construction home. If you've seen my stories, then you know I am planning on doing a small renovation to the loft area upstairs. This really just depends on your financial situation, what your plan is for your home basically. Me personally, I knew that I wanted to cut down my monthly mortgage to as low as possible. So that means I would have to put down a higher down payment, but it really all depends on your situation. For me, when it came to the decision on what my down payment would be, I worked with my financial advisor to really figure out like my finances and to see what would be the best option for me to put down. Highly recommend getting a financial advisor. If you don't have one yet, get one, and they can really help you narrow down what the best decision is for you. The inspection process was really dreadful, but I am so grateful that it happened the way it did. We ended up having to get 2 inspectors. They came in a total of 4 to 5 times combined, which is crazy because this is a new construction home. Also, highly recommend getting your inspector to come during a season or a time when you know it's going to rain. You will thank me later. So you can see how this house reacts to rain. If we did not have that second inspector that came back multiple times, I probably wouldn't have gotten this home. Don't listen to anybody tell you it's a new construction. Don't do it. Absolutely do it, especially if it's a new construction. So my realtor actually presented me with an attorney that she already worked with. When I came into this, I did have like a list of realtors, inspectors, attorneys, because I have a friend who's in real estate, so she already gave me a list of those. When I connected with my realtor, she actually also had her own list. I ended up going with the list that my realtor gave me, and it ended up just working out for the better because they already know each other, they know how everything works, they're constantly communicating, so it just made things so much more easier. Both my realtor and my attorney were women, and we were constantly in communication with each other, and they went hard for me. They were not gonna let me take a bad deal. You could easily get a realtor who doesn't really care and just wants their commission, and they will convince you to buy a house that's actually not in great condition just so they can get their commission and be done with it. Finding a good realtor and attorney will really make or break your experience. So when I first saw this house posted online, I thought, wow, gorgeous, breathtaking, but not for me. Initially, I thought I wanted a brownstone, which I still do. I thought I wanted something with a little bit more character, a little bit more of a story, so not necessarily a new construction. I told my realtor, let's go look at this house. It's beautiful. I went into it thinking this is not the house for me, but I just want to go and look at it because I want to feel inspired. That was the goal. That's how I went into this house, looking at it. When I walked into that house, it literally was like, whoa. It literally felt like, no, this is my house. It felt like I was walking into my house. Like I could immediately envision myself living there. It was really just a feeling. I didn't feel that in any of the other homes that I had checked out before. Throughout the entire process, there were many times where I was ready to give up and just let it go and walk away from it, but I prayed over it. I said, if this is the house for me, then I pray that it becomes mine. And if it's not the one for me, then I pray that you remove it out of my life and replace it with something better. Either way, I was like, whatever the situation is gonna be, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be fine. If I don't get it, then I know it wasn't meant to be. Then I know this wasn't my house. But if I do get it, then that's amazing. So that's kind of how I went about it. Here we are 6 months later. I am a homeowner. I can't believe I almost forgot that. I'm scared. Why is opening a can so frightening? So good.